45 years after the Greensboro massacre, a federal grant will help unveil information about this historic happening for the first time ever. Back in 1979, 5 members of the Communist Workers' Party were gunned down by neo-Nazis and members of the Klan. Now details surrounding that deadly day will be made public for the first time thanks to a nearly $100,000 grant.
The condition of us taking the collection was that we would digitize as much as we could. And the idea is anyone, anywhere. I mean, there's a few things we can't digitize because of copyright, but anyone, anywhere can do their research. I think that there will be a lot more attention. There's also a lot of other collections out there. I'm hoping other universities will be encouraged to digitize their own collections.
November 3rd, 1979. The Communist Workers' Party held a Death to the Klan rally.
But I will have revenge for this.
We can take our country back from the Communist Party. It's time for us to band together. If we have to get in the streets and fight and blood up to our knees, by God, it's time to get ready to fight!
Death to the Klan! Death to the Klan!
Officers finally showing up after violence that would kill 5 people and injure 12 more. 11 from the Communist Party and 1 Klan member. All lay dead or dying in the streets as police arrested protesters on both sides.
Oh yeah, we pretty much saw it on the news 10 million times afterwards. It was over and over again on the news. We actually have all the video of the event in the collection as well, but we couldn't put it online for copyright reasons. But yeah, I've seen the video. I have seen the video over and over again, and have actually seen it over and over again before I ever worked with the collections. At the time, it was just a scary thing that happened. I remember, basically the afternoon it happened, I was doing what 15-year-old kids do at the time, hanging out with friends, and my dad came to get me like he would do to take me home at like, I don't know, 5 or 5:30 or whatever. And basically it was, you're not leaving the house again for the rest of the weekend. People were scared. They weren't sure what was going to happen next. Probably with some good reason.
What stood out to me with the material is there were children there. The workers' viewpoint, the communist workers, they were families, and some of them brought children. So Signe brought her child with her, her son, and her husband, his father, was one of the people who was killed. You have this element of extreme violence at what was supposed to be a peaceful protest. And I don't think that element is brought out, that there were children present to see this and witness this, and children lost their parents that day. This is one of the scrapbooks that Signe created in just a typical scrapbook cover, and it actually has Signe on the bottom. So we in her hand, it's her handwriting, so we know she created it. And we see the ephemera that was announcing the strike, so she included that so we would be aware. There's a women's support committee serving barbecue. So this was not just a serious trade union dispute, but also a gathering of people supporting and enjoying themselves as a community, which is an important part of what they were trying to build.
Working on the Greensboro Massacre collection when I experienced the actual event as a high school student here in Greensboro, allowed me to see a lot of the different layers that were involved in the event. That it was not, at the time it was sort of presented as oh, these people declared the Klan to come and get them, and the Klan did, so it's all their fault. I think people who weren't here at the time don't know about it. One completely unrelated issue that I think pulled a lot of attention away from the Greensboro massacre is that it happened at precisely the same time, literally the same weekend as the Iran hostage crisis, which pretty much defined American politics for a year. I think it sort of got lost in the shuffle of that, which means it probably did not get the national coverage that it otherwise would have.
The city was complicit. It doesn't make Greensboro look good. A lot of people in power do not necessarily like telling a story in which they may not look good. But it has been covered, and certainly it's shocking how it aligns with present politics.
As far as forgetting this, no. We don't want to forget it. We don't want to dwell on it in a maudlin way. What we want to do is learn from it and transcend it.
One people, one nation, and immigration.
10 o'clock Friday night, hundreds of white nationalists storming the University of Virginia. The overnight violence spilling into this morning when marchgoers and counter-protesters clash again, hours before the Unite to Right march was even set to begin. The violence escalating.
It's like, okay, here we go again. Obviously, when Charlottesville happened, the Greensboro massacre was the first thing that my mind went to. I mean, political violence is political violence on some level. I think it was, in many ways, a preview of what we were going to see now.